Hello and welcome to Our Voices. I'm Palestine Iman and I'm joined by my co-host Ariana Itangashaka and Samanish Yakoya. Today we will be exploring women and the music industry. Also joining us is our colleague, Nigerian-Canadian award-winning and recent singer-songwriter Tolomide. She's our guest on the show. Let us start with you, Tolo. How you become a singer?
Wow, well, the journey started suddenly while I was in school. I went to school, primary school and secondary school in Nigeria. And then professionally, when I moved to Canada, to Toronto, to go to York University to study fine arts, I also joined an all-female reggae band. And it was really just by fluke. I went to a salon as a part-time job and started working. Then my manager at the salon's sister came in and said she needed a singer for her band. And I auditioned right there in the salon and got the part. So literally I was singing in the weekends and then also going to school during the day. And so when I moved and got a job as a graphic designer here in the States, I decided to pursue music as a second career and started, you know, dabbling into the solo thing.
Tolu, when I see you singing, I see joy. You're always so happy and bright. Does that is that part of that joy now on her face?
Yeah. Thank you. No, it does bring me joy. I mean, in fact, I might actually entertain when I'm watching myself perform, you know, nice. And I feel that with what I'm doing, with my songwriting, I felt, well, I want to be on the path of sharing feel-good music, positive vibes, sharing my ethnicity, my culture, African culture. And so I'm grateful. You know, this is now 3 albums later.
Yeah. So after all these years, how does music make you feel? What is music for you now?
Music makes me feel happy, and also it makes me feel fulfilled. I think when I get feedback from people, it also, you know, gives me a bit of a hint that, okay, maybe I'm doing something right. And I'm grateful for that, you know. It's certainly like it takes me away from the screen, from being in front of my computer 24/7, and it brings me joy, certainly.
So what kind of songs you do?
I do a fusion. Well, I call my music Suya Soul. Literally because I feel that it's soul music from my heart that's adding some African spice to it. If anybody knows what Suya is.
It's food for the soul.
Yeah, exactly. Spicy.
I mean, that's what also
music
I'm not a singer. I don't sing like her, but that's what music makes me feel like, you know. It makes me feel liberated, especially if it involves dance. I feel myself. I feel free. I feel like I am in my own space where I can enjoy just being myself.
Yes.
It's
the power
You
of
also
music.
do the gospel music.
Yes. So I fuse various genres. So I fuse gospel, I fuse soul, reggae, of course, some jazz, and of course R&B. So I fuse it all together because I've been influenced really by all these genres. Certainly reggae from back home, high life, you know, African pop, Afro beats, gospel. You know, I grew up singing in church and also in school. So all these genres and have really inspired me.
And you have your own bot now.
Suya. If anybody knows what suya is, you know it's
spicy,
it's nice.
shish kebab.
I'm telling you,
Nigerian.
You know, once you add suya to something, you know, you can have it as a meal, as a snack, you know, and it just brings so much flavor.
Nigerian background influenced you?
Oh, very much. I mean, certainly growing up, I was, of course, listening to American artists, and then also a lot of the Nigerian artists, Yemi Alade, Christy Eseni, of course, Fela. And so that, you know, when I said, okay, I'm going to do this solo thing, it was like, okay, how am I going to make it Tolumide, the Tolumide sound? And so I knew I had to fuse, you know, certainly my influence and inspiration I've gotten from these pioneers in the, you know, high life African pop industry and bring it into my own space.
Speaking of Nigeria, have you gotten a chance to go and perform back home?
Yes, actually, I did go recently. I shot a video out there, which I'm really excited to release, and then it was wonderful. It was wonderful. The scene is booming musically, and I'm really, really excited about the
There's
you know
a big
how
competition.
Things, oh man, the amazing talent is just is so refreshing, and the diversity too that's there is just
How
wonderful.
do people receive you as a person from the diaspora coming in and blending in and trying to do music back home?
Especially as a woman singer.
As a woman, they're very receptive. I know for myself, when I went back recently, it was they saw me as, you know, certainly someone in diaspora that's also doing something to represent the culture outside, you know, in still representing the culture, but now doing it in this part of the world. So it definitely felt very, they felt very welcoming and very warm and very open to
collaboration,
certainly collaboration. I got a lot of questions about that. Who are you going to collaborate with next?
It's always the question.
Yes. I said I'm very open. You know, certainly if their views and the artist is in line with mine, and we produce a good song. So stay tuned. Maybe a collaboration coming
Definitely,
soon.
we'll stay tuned for those collaborations.
Yes, indeed. I'm so excited about the future and my next album, really, which I've decided to title Suya Soul.
Nice. Well, stay with us, Tolo, because we want to hear more from you. As we know, music is a form of expression that combines words, emotions, melody, and captivating instruments to create entertainment. Music is also part of the African culture as a medium of communication and constant in all celebrations, marriage, births, deaths, and social events. African women have always played an essential role in the music culture as either singers or dancers. With time and the emergence of popular music and other contemporary music types, women have often had challenges breaking into the industry. Some say society's perception and certain cultural norms have been obstacles in their quest for success. All those challenges have not stopped women down in their progress in the music industry. Nigerian Afrobeats hit maker and multi-award-winning singer Yemi Alade spoke with Heather Maxwell in a virtual interview from Paris. At the debut of her 2022 World Tour, Alade recently packed the concert of Olympia Hall in Paris and Toulouse in Montreal for that city annual Nuit d'Afrique Festival. Heather caught her in between those two concerts earlier this week. Here's some highlights from that interview.
Your music continues to evolve and change, but one thing that is the same is your incredible energy. Where's this energy coming from?
For me to keep that fire blazing, I must go through rigorous hours of rehearsals, band and music individually, and then as a combination. And I do enjoy that process because I then get to present my art on stage. 2014 was the game-changing year in my life. But just before the collaboration on the body of work, Lion King with Beyonce, one of the most fundamental changing years in my life happened when I released my album, Mama Africa, because I had taken up a mantle that was heavier and bigger than any other mantle I could have considered at that point in time. And that really was a game changer because the entire world accepted me for who I had announced myself to be. Fast forward down the list, then I did a collaboration with Angelique Kidjo, who Mama Africa way before me. That was another game changer.
You prioritize collaborating with women?
100% I do.
So there's the rural Yemi, there's the urban, all these.
I'm Superwoman.
Is there a side or a facet of you that you have not showed yet?
I'm also enjoying this journey called life, you know, and I also notice that as I grow older, there's some things about me that change and there are new facets that get unlocked. But there's one facet I'm not sharing with the world, and that is just the Yemi that wants to stay under her duvet and just not do anything, not go anywhere, not speak to anyone, just be. The other sides to me definitely would be fashion. I think that facet is yet to be truly her next.
In one of the music videos, at the end of it, you quoted something like, "Children are a gift of God, whether it's female or male." So is that still a common problem that you see in Nigeria?
Some people can go ahead and have as many as 7 kids, and they will not rest until they have their male child because of the many things that culture and tradition has tied to the superiority of the male child over the female child. So yes, it's still prevalent culture in the entire Africa. These days, a lot of things are changing. People are understanding that a child is a child.
When you you decided to name yourself Mama Africa?
My very point in time when I named myself Mama Africa and I named my album Mama Africa is to impact as positively as possible on the lives of kids at home when they turn on their TV. I want them to watch things that would inspire them. I had just taken up the role on the inside. And on the outside as well, I was going all out to enjoy all the cultures. Today I could be dressed in a Kenyan attire. Tomorrow it could be Ethiopian, it could be Ugandan. I just travel the world as I move from concert to concert. I pick a piece of culture with me because I wholeheartedly love it.
Well, Yemi is one of my favorite singers. I love her music. But I mean, women in Africa, whenever they want to break into the men-dominated jobs, they always are met with different challenges. Have you ever had any challenge, be it from family or from the music industry, to be in the music industry?
Well, usually the major challenge is always finance. Getting the finance together and deciding, you know, how to kind of appropriate the finances. Does it go to music? Does it go to studio time? Does it go to, you know, your tours, promotion, making music videos?
Is it exceptionally challenging for women, or is it something that's...
Definitely, I believe it's more challenging just because it's definitely more male-dominated, so you feel like you have to work extra hard to be seen,
they don't have to put as much makeup on, they don't have to wear as beautiful, so definitely the financial part, I think it's probably is a definite challenge.
Yeah, that's a challenge.
And also getting the sponsors.
Getting the sponsors. And if you think about it too, sometimes I'll go to African parties and you know, I'm listening to the music and I'm seeing, you know, for the first good hour, it's mainly male, you know, songs by males, and then you'll have one interjection of a female artist. So
it's still like that in 2022.
Yeah, I feel that it's still like that. But I'm grateful, and I'm really, really, you know, right now it is an exciting time because a lot of the females are doing the nice dance songs. So we just need a lot more of us, you know, so that there's a bit more of a balance.
You know, it's about women. They talk about the beauty, they talk about, you know, love.
Yes.
And the women are the backbone of most of these songs.
Yes, exactly. So true. So true. Because we usually have them,
if you're singing and you're not singing for women, the song is nothing.
So true. That's so true.
Right. But I also like the way you move.
Growing up abroad, did it help you break some of the challenges maybe women in Africa might face?
Yes. I believe being here, I just... And also with my upbringing, with my parents who were always very open-minded, so I didn't feel any challenge in terms of them saying, okay, well, you only have to be an engineer, you know, a scientist, you know. They were pretty, for all of us, they all, you know, for all of us, me and my siblings, they were always very open-minded to, okay, well, you're going to do what you're in your heart, you feel led to do and you feel strong at. So even me deciding to study fine art was... At my time, it was also kind of different for, you know, a lot of parents that wanted their parents, the children to just go into professional and be a lawyer, be an engineer.
I guess now it's time to hear that beautiful golden voice of yours.
Why not? I mean, it's like, okay, what is she going to say? What is she going to say? Yes. But I am going to talk to you about the beauty of singing and having, like, you know, just the fashion to go with it. Because it's also something that when you're listening to someone, you're also looking at what they look like. And you just, like, entertain at the same time. So go ahead.
So true.
Go ahead.
Well, I feel that I should share... an exclusive, a song that I've not released, but I think just for this program, it'll be lovely to share. So it's a song I wrote entitled "Naturally Me," and the song is a little bit about hair. So it says, "Naturally me, everything you see, all that's within me is everything I be. Naturally me, Tolomide me, everything you see is everything I choose to be. My hair, all of you, everybody's hair is naturally you. Oh yes, it's you. Your hair, every single bit of your hair is naturally you. Yes, it's you. And then I say shuku, atewo, all back, a single, a koroba, a didu, conro, a bridge, banumo, kolese, atewo, and all these are just simply names of hairstyles.
Wow.
So I decided to write a song about hair.
Were you in the mirror when you were composing that?
Of course, I was.
We are going to definitely hear more of this music coming up, but it's now time for a quick break.
Nice.
But first, we want to remind you of our social media platforms. We are on Facebook at VOA Africa, and our Instagram and Twitter handle is at VOA Our Voices. We're also on WhatsApp, and our number is country code +1 202 503 9025. We'll be right back.
From around the world. Let's go.
Welcome back. You are watching Our Voices. Women are underrepresented when it comes to a song releases and record labels. Women's vocals and music are vital for all kinds of music worldwide, particularly in Africa. Many male songs are related to a woman's love, beauty, and other values. We talk to a woman who listen to and are interested in female music in South Africa. They give us their views about female musicians.
There's so many artists that I look up to, especially gospel artists. You get Abontogo Zombambu, you get your Mahalia Buchanan, you get Abo Kamumpila. Normally, my piano artists, yeah, I love them so much.
I feel like female artists, they work more harder than male artists to get recognized. And I feel like as a female in general, like in any aspect of life, we work harder for what we get. And when we're successful, it's success out of our own hard work, not necessarily from other people.
Females are good artists, they are best artists, but they are not being showcased because the industry is being run by men.
I think female artists are talented, but sometimes they don't trust them or if they can do it more than males.
I think female artists perform best because they dance most of the time in their videos or in their performances, which is most male artists, they don't do that.
I love South African female artists, female artists like Rouge, Nadia Nakai. Yeah, I don't think they do have a platform that's big enough as males have in South Africa, so we can do better there.
Women have always been fundamental in shaping the sound of African music. There was a time when women in the music industry could not even use their real names to avoid revealing their family's connections or their roots. Over time, women's role in the music industry have been gradually changing. Many African women have broken barriers in the categories of music, theater, and performance through extraordinary demonstration of their talent. For the last decade, African women have solidified their position in the music market.
That's right, and to learn more about African women in the music industry, their challenges and their success, we invited Kenya's singer, songwriter Susanna Owino. Her music is a fusion of traditional Western Kenyan music and contemporary rhythm. She joins us from Nairobi. Susanna, how are you? And thank you for being with Our Voices. I'm going to go straight to our first question. What role do you see women playing in the music industry lately? I can't hear her. I think there's a bit of technical difficulties. We're not able to hear Susanna, but hopefully we will have her in a minute. But while we try to get Susanna back, I was talking about fashion and music, how it goes together. It's important when a musician comes on stage, they have to match what they're singing, like a nice outfit that just speaks volume. What do you think about the mix between fashion and music? Does it always have to go together? Is it important?
Yes, absolutely go together, because it's your pretty much everything, your hair, your outfit, your shoes, all that kind of goes to also show, you know, your personality, show your ethnicity, and give you, you know, pretty much whatever you're wearing too as you're moving, that's also going to be, you know, what people are looking at too. You know, they're looking at my hands playing, they're looking at me move, dance in the African style. You know, you also need to wear something that you can comfortably move around with.
Right.
So definitely fashion go hand in hand.
Nice.
And for myself, I have to always represent the continent with African fabric.
That's so true. Now, I'm told that we have Mrs. Susanna Owino back with us. Sorry for that technical difficulties, but the question was, you know, what role do you see African women playing in the music industry?
First, thank you for having me. And indeed, women play a bigger role in the music industry. You know, like coming from the way our upbringing, you know, we always try to project that. You know, there's that family value that we also add in our music. If you ask me, like majority, like I would say, in my case, I normally sing about issues of social concern, you know, and this comes about from my upbringing. So I always try to portray that or project that in my music.
Do you participate in different advocacy and awareness campaigns? How does the music help you, especially in social issues like girls' education?
Actually, the truth is, when I started my music, I started as a dancer, you know. And when I started music at a younger age, I didn't know that there's so much into it, like I could use my voice for change, you know. So this came about as I progressed, you know, just getting to meet people. And I looked at myself like I as a person that has a role to play in the music industry. So coming from a dancer background, and then from a background vocalist, you know, I think I didn't take music seriously then until when I get to share platforms with, you know, international personalities, being invited into big podiums to perform. Then I said, hey, oh, there's something more to it I can do with this music. I mean, if people listen to my music, what message? I kept on asking myself, what message do I pass to them? So it made me reflect on my music career, and that's why I decided to also go on the advocacy beat, just to try to advocate on issues affecting us in our society. Yeah.
How challenging it was at the beginning to produce a music or songs to release, because some of the people we spoke with in South Africa, they mentioned that the industry is a male dominated, and we have a couple of people who agree with that. How it was challenging to produce?
Well, when I started music, I started way back before the digital platform. So I'm talking about 2 decades ago. So being an artist, of course, there are various challenges that female musicians face. One of them, I would say myself being accepted with my family, because they thought this is a joke. I mean, you cannot tell us that you want to pursue music as a career. My dad wanted me to be a teacher, you know, like, and I just had to prove him wrong, you know. Yeah, so it was upon me to just tell my dad or show him that this, whatever career that I've chosen, it's a career just like any other career. And so besides the family acceptance, there's also the music production. When it comes to production, when we started, there were few studios, like few studios, few producers. It was expensive. I remember like my music the two of my albums were mastered in London, and that is, you must have a budget for that. So the financial bit is also part of the challenge that we face, and I'm glad that that has really changed. Looking at then and now, there's a big difference. I mean, the world is open. There's a lot of music, and there's a lot of women all over the continent coming out. Unlike my country, I think we were very few female artists. I can count on a few, but I'm always glad to see a couple of women, female artists coming up. Just coming up and wanting to be in this male-dominated space.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Susanna Owino, for joining us from Nairobi and share your experience. Now we have a woman to watch. We are going to introduce. At the US Grammys this year, Angelique Kidjo, the Beninese singer, songwriter, actress, and activist who is noted for her diverse musical influences and creative music videos, won the Best Global Music Album category with her album Mother Nature. Kidjo spoke on the importance of representation at events like the Grammys.
I mean, the thing is, before it was called world music, that used to drive me crazy. And I've said it so many times and many years. So finally we come to the conversation that we all have to sit around the table with other African artists on the continent to find a way that we can be represented that don't feel patronizing. So we all come globally, collectively to global performance and global world music, global album. So that's a great step. I don't know any award in the world that does such a thing, to be inclusive of minorities and really working hard to get the diversity into the Recording Academy. And I've been nominated since 1992, and I've seen the Academy grow and taking on the challenge of an ever-changing world.